Yo, what's good, guys? Today I'm doing a quick little video on how to add camber or stance any car on Beamng, and that includes in-game cars and mod cars. So we're just gonna get right into it. The first thing that you're gonna do is the key combination Windows and R. It's gonna pull up your run command, and in here you're gonna type this. I'll put it in the description so you can just copy it. So then we're gonna do OK, and this is gonna take you to your user folder data. But this is not the correct one that we want to be in, so we're going to go ahead and click. We're going to click on this app data part here at the top, and then we're going to go ahead and click local, and then here find your Beamng drive file. Click on that. You're going to go to the latest version, which is currently 0.33 as I'm recording this. Then you're going to go to mods, and then you're going to go to repo. In repo, these are all of your these are all of your unzipped files that you will get from like Modland or the Beamng website. And so in here you're going to find whatever car you want. So I just got a little Miata, so we're going to go into our Miata file. Then you're going to go into vehicles, and most of the time it'll be in common. Nope, not common. So we're going to go into MX5. Here we go. So you're going to go ahead and look in the files of the car, and then you're going to go in the search and you're going to do suspension. And when you search suspension, you'll have these two things, and this is exactly what we are going to need here. Okay, so first we're going to go into the front one, and this looks pretty scary, I know, but this is just how we're going to change the values of how much camber, offset, toe, and cast angle if you want, but I don't mess with that. So right here we have the camber. This is the default, this is the minimum, this is the max. Do not change any of the default. Don't change default. Only change the middle one, which is minimum, and the last one, which is max. So for max, I usually do 1.50, and then for the minimum, I'll do 1.50 as well. And then for track offset, you only change the max because you want it to be able to go farther out, not super far in. So for the max, I'll do like 1. And sometimes I'll do a little bit more depending on what car it is. You just have to fiddle with it and see how it works. So that's all you have to do for that. And then you'll do Control F to do the find command, and you'll search up toe. This is the wheel angle going forwards or backwards. You have to adjust this when adjusting camber. Here it's the same default, don't change that, minimum and max. Sometimes the max will be in the middle and the minimum will be at the end. Just make sure you see like what is the bigger number, because the bigger number will be the max. For the max, I do 1.50, and for the minimum, I do 1.40. And I do this for like every car. Then you're gonna go ahead and do file, save, and a lot of times it'll make you have to save it in a specific file. So I actually what I do is I just go and find the Beamng drive file, which this is my pinned user data folder that I'm using right now. So go ahead and click that. I'll do 0.33 mods repo and just save it in there, because we will later have to drag that suspension file and replace these ones right here. So then we're just gonna go ahead and close that. Then we're gonna go into the rear suspension, and we're gonna do the same thing. So on the rear suspension, it has all three right here, whereas the front has cast angle. The rear doesn't have cast angle because the cast angle has to do with the front wheel steering, and like, yeah. So for camber, we're just gonna do the same thing. We're gonna do 0.50 as the max, 0.40 as the minimum, toe, as you can, oh look right here. So right here for the toe, even though it says minimum is in the middle, they're swapped. So this one is the max, this one is the minimum. And again, do not change the default. Leave that as be. Okay, otherwise it'll get really messed up. So for the max, we'll do 1.50 again, minimum 1.40 again. Track offset, we'll do 1. This car, maybe it'll need more. I doubt it's a Miata. It's like the size of a peanut. Then we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna do file, save, and then we're gonna find that file. You can also make a separate file on here. Actually, that is what this one's for. This is my separate file that I pinned on the side. Just this way I can put all of my suspension files in this, so it's easy to drag and drop. But since I already put the other one in here and I forgot about this one, we'll just go into the Beamng drive file again. So we'll do 0.33 mods repo and then save it. Okay, so now you can close this. Then I would open another file tab, because you're gonna have to drag and drop some stuff, and we will just do it like this. Okay, so right here is our suspension file that we already have open for the car mod, which is the Miata. So on here is just like our Beamng appdata local file. So we're gonna go into 0.33 mods repo, and then here are all of our mods, and you're gonna have to find suspension, the suspension file. So I'll just search suspension, and boom, this one is from another mod that I used, but these are the two ones that we are going to want right here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to drag the suspension file into here, and then we'll do copy and replace. Oh, you're joking. Okay, well, so actually I can't do it to this Miata because the Miata file is really corrupted or something. I don't know why. Some modeling cars, some mod cars, you just can't do that with, but that's what you have to do. So basically, once you're to this step, you'll just drag your suspension file over into the actual folder of the car, and you'll do copy and replace. For this one, it doesn't work, and if it does that, then you just have to give up. There's nothing you can do. But normally it'll just switch them out, and if you want to make sure that they actually switched out, then just go ahead and reopen that file, and then look at the values and make sure that they're the files that you put there. So now that that's done, we're just gonna go ahead and hop into a Beamng Drive. There's another way that you can add camber or stance to cars in Beamng, and that's with using the wide FAP suspension mod. However, the wide FAP suspension mod doesn't work for all cars, mainly not mod cars. It really will only end up working with the default game cars or mod cars that use default game suspension. Okay, so now that we're actually in the game, now we can get to lowering your car and putting it to the ground. Okay, to the ground. So since my Miata mod doesn't work for that, we'll just use a different car. So we will use the Hirochi SBR, for example. So we'll just load up, we'll just load up this one. We'll load the street tuned. So now that we have our little car here, you're just gonna go into vehicle configuration. You're gonna go to tuning. You're gonna scroll down, and then here in your wheel alignment, you'll see that your camber adjust, toe adjust for both are really weird numbers, and we're just going to move that around to fix that. So now what we're going to do is we can add we can add as much camber as you want. Okay, so much so that the wheels break off right there. This isn't even drivable. I mean, that contact patch is horrible. So I'll normally like start out with like negative 33 in the front and the back. That way it's, I don't know, that's just a good starting point for me. So that's, see, that's actually pretty good. We're also going to lower the suspension because that is horrible. So negative 33 is not bad. And then the toe is not bad. And what I mean by toe is, let's just put the front toe all the way back. As you can see, the wheel is now by default all the way back, and that is really messed up. It's actually broken. We put it all the way to the front. So positive toe puts the wheel inwards. Negative toe puts the wheel backwards. So the toe is fine how it was, so we'll just put it back to normal, and then you can mess with it if it's messed up. And then for the wheel offset, we can also do an insane amount of offset. Yours right here will say 0.1 because that's the values that we did, but for this one I had to do 0.15 offset because this thing is really wide. So that is an insane amount of offset. And then the rear, we'll just do a lot too to see how it looks. So that is definitely way too much. Typically sometimes the rear camber will be more, so a negative 33 in the back will sometimes be more than a negative 33 in the front, or sometimes it'll be less. Right here, it's the same, it's both negative 33% camber in the front and the rear, but the rear has less, so it'd probably be like negative 38 or negative 40 or something. So yeah, that's all you guys got to do. It's really easy. I do this for every single car that I make for videos and stuff that I want to add camber to in stance. Make sure you guys go follow my TikTok at QuiltNar. Subscribe to my YouTube if you want to keep getting some tutorials and stuff. Pretty soon I'll be posting some driving videos or actual gaming videos. And yeah, I hope this helped, and I hope that you're making some banger TikToks with your stance cars. And I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.